What's good, beautiful people? Welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best. I am a little bit under the weather. I'm catching some sort of a cold, so I apologize if I got a raspy, scary kind of voice. But let's welcome in James for the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. Welcome in, James.
Thank you for having me. Well, thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channels, guys.
I appreciate that. You guys also subscribe to James's channel. We do lots of TV recaps on his channel as well. He also does a whole bunch of reality shows that are on OWN, the Oprah Winfrey Network. So feel free to check in. Check the link in the description. Subscribe to his channel. Give support to him and all Black creators that you like, please. But let's get into Love and Hip Hop Miami. Okay, we go moving through, but I was kind of looking at this, like, this episode was filled with like all sorts of stupidity, in my personal opinion. I know I'm a little bit late, y'all. I apologize. I should have had this live up yesterday, but this episode irked me, and I'm glad I didn't do it yesterday. So we open it up with Gael she goes to see Bobby, and Bobby's been hosting all these different look like clubs and lounges. He's just been hosted events, and she is mad and confronts Bobby because people have not showed up to her little grand reopening of her restaurant. And in my head and in James's head and in most of the audience's head, we're like, Gael, you ain't done nothing but give everybody on this cast a headache. And why would you expect anybody in the world to trust you when you do your own sister dirty? Hi, DM Rocks. Welcome in. Happy hump day. But I'm just looking at Gael like she's crazy. So Bobby tells her what we were all thinking, pretty much. Nobody showed up. You leave a bad taste in people's mouth, and you have a horrible reputation. She wants change. She wants to be better, and he's going to help her do this with some sort of event. I don't know why Gael's still on this show. And then I had sent to James on Facebook. She's been posted up with Marlon, kicking it, doing videos and lives together. And I'm just like, if my sister ever slept with my husband, I don't want them to ever see each other again. They have to be doing this crap for a storyline. So that's my opinion. James, how do you feel about Gael's foolery?
It's foolery. I don't feel any which way about it. She know why people didn't show up. I don't think she's that delusional. So, let her be where she is, and we'll just all move to, pretend like she don't exist.
You know what? I think, and I'm so sorry, you guys, I really am struggling to talk. I guess I am losing my voice. I've had an interesting week, to say the least. Right. Dia Brock said, get her off the show. Why is she here? We don't care. Flo was the cast member. Gael is only relevant for doing her sister dirty, but she was not even supposed to be here or on the show like that. So we gonna move on, because we're not even gonna give this pug-faced bitch any type of energy. We just not. Though I do think the dog's pugs are cute. It's just not cute when it's on the face of a human. Like to clarify that. I'm a dog lover. Anywho, y'all, the next thing we see is Shay, aka Bucky, as James likes to call her. She meets with her mama, and she basically says to her mom that she does not want her brother MJ and Amada to get back together. And it's interesting because they're thinking that Amada will just take MJ back. And I'm kind of like, I don't think that's going to happen. Like, Amada just has never seemed that interested in MJ, and his pockets are not deep enough for her to really want to be with him, in my opinion. But she tells her mom about Mike Nasty. And it's interesting because her mom is also advocating and supports Amada and MJ getting back together. But then her mom has all of these concerns about the dude that Shay's been dating, because his businesses are in Mexico, Colombia, and somewhere in the US. A lot of people have businesses. Almost every celebrity with the tequila is doing business to some extent, likely with Mexico. I don't like how she kind of affiliated those countries with just soul negativity and shadiness, because it's really not that. That was a very ignorant statement, Sandra. But I don't know. It does sound a little odd. He did have too many perfect answers to all of Shay's questions. So I did agree with Shay in that aspect, and I am glad that she seems to be paying a little bit more attention. But nothing much else happened in this scene, y'all. Apparently, MJ and the mama are really going to have a video release party or video shoot for that stupid ass song they made to celebrate Shay leaving Fabo. And her mom had the audacity to say she believes that this song will have life outside of her family. MJ, are you that desperate to create and revive a music career that never was, that you're going to use your mama in this show as a way to get a hit? That's really all I have to say. James?
I don't have nothing nice to say, so I'm not gonna say nothing at all. So I just feel, but I no, I'm lying. I do want to say this: why the double standard, Sandra? Why the double standard? Why don't you have any parameters for Amara when you know she has all of these tendencies, but you have all of these restrictions and guidelines for Shay and the men she dates? I found that very strange. I do. Because it's almost giving, Amara can take care of your son, but you don't think that the conditions, never mind.
I think if anybody watched me and James speak about it often, the little Ayanla Fix My Life episode with Shay and her family, you can see that there's a very different dynamic between the mom and Shay and the mom and her sons. And then the history of what went on in Shay's parents' marriage. So I'm not surprised, but I do also think it could be MJ been with parents for way too long. Amada took care of him. So the mama probably tired and want his ass out the house. But let's catch a comment before we move on to the next topic. DM Rocks, one of our day ones, said, off topic, did you hear about how Mia from the Housewives of Potomac, for those who don't know who he's talking about, said she would knock out Giselle if she stayed at the reunion?
I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. Why didn't she just do it instead of walking off the stage crying?
Because she knew that what was said was true. If somebody was really talking about your kids, then you have a reason to knock her out. Giselle didn't say nothing negative about them babies. She told Mia she didn't protect them. And Mia didn't like that. So she left because she knew she didn't. And Mia's not going to knock anybody out. Based on the craters in her face, she's probably been knocked out a few times. So we'll leave it there and see where the hell that go. Mia, one of the bitches who just ain't had her ass whooped right.
Or come to Oakland, Mia. She just never learns.
You know what, James?
I'm just saying, like, to me, I don't feel like that's it at all. I feel like she has had it whooped. She just one of those that just don't learn from her era of life. And one day it's going, like you said, somebody going to end up knocking the mess out of her. And I'm not going to be mad at it. I'm really not. And I don't like to promote violence against women. I don't. But in this instance, like when it comes to her, I just can't. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't do her. So I'm glad she's not coming back to Real Housewives of Potomac. Maybe I might recap it and enjoy it.
Do y'all remember on the Wendy Williams show where that was that one person that helped to give the scoop on what was going on? That is DM Rocks for the Mrs. Best Reviews and Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. DM Rocks is always coming in here with all the tea, everything we need to know. Thank you for that.
All the tea. We appreciate you, DM Rocks. We really do, because you be having the legit tea.
He really does. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But yeah, we gonna move on from the foolery that is Shay's family. Now, mama, remember the mama in the DR that seemed a little bit racist toward dark-skinned men who did not like Amara and swore that she practiced witchcraft? Well, now she showed up at Amara's house, and for some reason, she tells his mother that she wants more kids and that she would prefer the kids that she has to be with Alan. Which weirded me out because I'm like, you know what, Alan, your mama really ain't shit either. And the reason I say that is because she knows that her child is married. But she knows that he has multiple baby mamas. It's not just Amara. Now, if it was just Amara, I could be like, well, maybe he has a effed up wife or is just trying to stay with her. Maybe he has an open marriage or something. But he got other babies that's the same age as Amara's twins. So he's just community eggplant emoji, in my opinion. And she knows that about her son with him having all these grandchildren. So when Amara tells the mom that she wants more kids with Alan. The mama responds by saying that Alan still loves Amada and that now it's more than ever. I want to know where that wife is, y'all. I want to know where the fuck Alan's wife is.
VH1, bring that lady on the show. I need
Where
to
is
see
she?
her. I need to see this because one, I think the mama full of shit.
She is.
Personally, I feel like she full of shit and made that shit up. And for what reason, I don't know. It's given like she one of them mamas that she want her son to be her man. Like not so much like ancestral, like the logic of like what she raised him to be, and he, even though he ain't shit to begin with, but she's giving me one of those where she manipulates the women
Yep.
to get herself something out of the equation. So she does this whole, oh, he love you, he want to be with you. Let me get $50. That's what she gives me.
Yep. You know what? You're exactly right. And the thing is, Amada will. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm under the weather. I'm struggling to breathe and shit. Lord help me. But Amada seems like the type that would be okay with behaving that way. But I was grateful because Amada's mama finally came in with some sense. And she reminded Alan's mama that your son is married and he won't leave his wife. And you talking to my daughter about making more babies with him, especially after he called her a black ghetto piece of you know what? Absolutely not. The fact that Alan's mom even supports him in a relationship with someone when he's not divorced and still has a wife that he's living with and raising kids with is baffling and disgusting. It reminds me of that mama on the family, Chantel, Pedro's mom, who also was from the Dominican Republic. So maybe Pedro's family was right that that's the culture down there to just be having side people. But let's get into these comments. A bitch stay winning agreed with us. His mom is racist. Absolutely. Hi, a bitch stay winning. Happy hump day. Happy hump day. She said had the nerve to say her children with MJ would not be as cute. That was so, I'm glad you caught that because that was so inappropriate. The colorism is just like appalling.
It's
And
like, ma'am, first of all, your son ain't even cute. So I don't even know what the hell you even talking about.
Alan can't even grow hair. He
Hair.
doesn't have a
Like,
hairline.
he might have been cute when he was younger, but he looked very washed up to me. So I don't know what the hell. I don't even know why Amara even giving him the time of day. That must be some good eggplant emoji.
Because I think to a certain extent that Amada is insecure with her own skin tone, especially being the fact that she's Afro-Latina. Because if we watch her from season 1, after that boy talked about her fro and how she would get further if she did her hair straight like Beyonce or something, ever since then, that's what she's been doing with her hair if everybody pays attention. Sometimes she goes back to it, but Amada gives me insecure, neurotic, and somebody who probably has a problem with her own skin tone, but just ain't gonna change it. She tries to act confident. I don't think she's confident. I think it's the money. A bitch they want to say that head is horrible. He needs to cut it off. There's nothing to cut. He may as well just let it fall out. He has no hairline. He has no hair, and you could tell it's
like
always
if
shiny.
he did a bald head, he wouldn't look good either because his head shape is weird. So I don't think. Yeah.
He's got money. That's it. He's got money. That is literally it. He's one of those people that's really not that cute. Kind of like Carly Red's husband. He's not attractive, but because he has money, he'll pull women. Look at Kirk Frost. Need we say more? Need we say more? Let's keep it moving, y'all. If you haven't already, we do hope that you like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Subscribe to James's channel as well. The link is in the description of the video. We gonna move on to Trina and Swerve. And I'm telling you people right now, I love all of y'all Thug Life till we die. However, I was really annoyed with Trina and Swerve this entire episode. They finally realized that no one respects their marriage, aka their union. And we learned that this is where it came out a couple months ago all over social media that Trina did not get a prenup with this young boy. And he is struggling with how he's being roasted on the internet. And they show some of the clips. People said that he's unattractive. People said that Trina gonna be a sugar mama. People said that he came up. Like, basically, no one trusts him. No one trusts him. And then in addition, like, no shade to Trina, she's not the baddest bitch. I'm so sorry. I understand she's taken on that name professionally, but Trina got bags so deep under her eyes, makeup can't hide it, and it looked like she ain't slept in 40 years. It's just how I feel. I know beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I'm not saying she's not beautiful, but you refer yourself to the baddest bitch and then you're moving like a fool. And I thought the baddest bitch was supposed to have money together, your attorney and prenups together, all of them things. Like, I don't understand it. A bitch stay winning, not the slinky neck. I agree though. Why don't they put the makeup on her neck if they know it'd be looking like that? I don't understand it. I
I'm
don't
not
understand
doing this
it.
with y'all today. I'm not doing this with y'all today. I'm
You
not.
can't deny it though, James.
I'm not doing this with y'all today.
But Trina's dumbass ain't got no prenup. And the thing of it is, they keep complaining about how they, and I'm using air quotes, y'all, their private marriage was leaked. But peep game, I do not feel sorry for these people, because this would not be happening to you guys had they have been forthright that they were going to be married.
I don't know how she didn't think that this would be private. You are a public figure on a reality TV show on top of that. How did you think you were going to hide a marriage? Because if, allegedly, if Miami Tip didn't put it out, allegedly, I'd say allegedly, I don't know if she's the one who did it or not. I just said all avenues point to her. But if she wasn't going to point it out, VH1 was going to put it out. Do you really think a rumor here that you are married, that they weren't going to question you about it? So you was going to come on this TV show and never show this man? Even though he's been on TV before to see last season? Trina, stop.
Trina helped build this show. That's part of why they premiered it. But Trina gives nothing and has never given anything on this show. If you're not going to
Stank-ass attitudes and talking 45 miles per hour.
I'm gonna leave it there because he knew. That's how you know that's my friend. He literally completed my thought and sentence. That's it. And it's annoying. If you're gonna come on TV, people have to be allowed to question you. You have to interact with people. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. And as quiet as it's kept, and I'm sure James can back me on this, there's a lot more relevant and larger stars within music, female rappers, than Trina, that are in Miami. So I'm getting tired of her being here. I'm tired of her little what do they call it? A posse, entourage. I'm sick of them all. But I guess Swerve wants to go to therapy. Good for you, Swerve. Now we then have to deal with more of. Oh, I'm sorry, James. Did you want to add anything else?
No, you can move on.
Oh, okay. You always got to give you the opportunity in case you want to roast them some more. Now, Joy pulls up on So Unique, who was dating Trick. Apparently, Joy and this girl are dating. Joy pops a bunch of balloons at the video shoot, and this is how we find out. That balloon popping exercise that be all over the internet and stuff, showing how stupid a lot of y'all really are. Anywho, I don't understand why Joy would want to date the ex-girlfriend of her husband, because these people are not divorced. They don't even have a legal separation on file. And Joy claims that she does not want to put a label on anything. I mean, James has been saying that Joy would probably be able to do better dating women. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Do you, James? I mean,
I need a more believable situation. I'll say that. I just don't believe this storyline. I don't believe I feel like if Joy was going to go to women, she would pick a woman that looked like Trick. I don't see her dating like this very beautiful, like ambiguous woman. I don't see it. I see almost like very female version of Trick Daddy. I do. I see that. But as a big
I agree.
It's given story. It is given storyline. It's given fake. And out of all of the women in Miami, and please, there's a lot of lesbians in Miami. You gonna go to the one that your husband been with first? That doesn't make sense whatsoever. So no, I don't believe this.
Joy, what happened to your salon? I don't want to hear anything else about, I'm sick of Joy. I really am. I can't stand her voice.
Y'all VH1, y'all could have kept this because y'all need to tell her to stop bullshit and go back to her husband.
Yep.
Because that would be the more believable storyline.
I feel like the only reason she's not going back to him too is something so like shallow. Like I feel like because she's always mentioned season after season, he don't take his medicine. That's why he can't lose weight. That's why his face and stuff. Because Trick has lupus, and it will impact you that way. It's an autoimmune disease. So it seemed like I feel like these people, like if he were to get back on his medicine and take care of his health, I feel like she would take him back. But I do agree
Yeah,
with
because
y'all
she
that
it
it's
does,
likely a
but she don't want to
storyline.
be responsible for any hospital visits or anything that may be in the outcome
Then
of him
fucking
not doing it.
divorce him. Sometimes my husband go through stuff. I'm like, I don't want to deal with this shit. But we took vows. I still love him. So I'm gonna stick beside him. I'm gonna deal with it. If you don't want to do that for your partner, if you're not married, break up. If you are married, divorce. If you're engaged, don't get married. Like it's that simple. Like Joy, ugh, I'm so sick of Joy, but I agree with this statement especially. She follows behind Trina and has done nothing else. She said, I don't think she want to be with Trick at all. She just wants to still be linked to him because he's a D-list celebrity. But she's linked to Trina.
She's linked to Trina. That is, yeah, I don't agree with that.
That's her
I
first
think she,
cousin.
yeah, I think she wants to be with Trick. She wants Trick to get it right, and he's not doing it. So she is going to keep herself at distance because if she didn't want to be with him, she would be divorced from him by now. They
Yep.
have been going through the storyline for the last 5 years. She would have been left if she really didn't want to be with him. I think she wants to be with him. I just think she can't be with him because he doesn't take his life serious. And she looks like the type that she don't want to be responsible for having to tell people, hey, he in the hospital because he didn't want to do. She doesn't want to be responsible for that because she said it through 2 or 3 seasons ago. She don't want to be responsible for this. She tried to get him on the straight and narrow. He didn't want to do it. So I feel like, that's her whole purpose. Yeah,
A bitch
nobody.
that would have said nobody wants to be with Trick.
Trust
The
me,
thing
there's
of it
always some
is,
old dirty, thirsty ass person that's going to do it. Trust me, no, if they winning. That's
the,
Miami.
the thing of it is too, I do agree to go back to your statement, James. I don't think she is done with him because I think every woman that watches my channel can agree, or every woman in general. When you really done with somebody, you done with somebody. If you got to divorce them and let them have it, some people have done that to get the hell away. Like if you really, really, truly don't want somebody, you get the hell away. You'll go away. But Joy has not done that. So more Trina posse entourage bullshit. She said, I just can't understand. You know what? I don't think Joy does either, and that's why she ain't divorced. Swerve goes to meet with the pastor. Negro, you said you wanted to go to therapy. I thought you would see an LPCC, an LCSW, an LMFT, an AMFT, a substance abuse counselor, a CADC. I thought you see something, but you went to the church. I need y'all to understand religion is so important.
It is.
But did you know that there are therapists that are literally getting counseling degrees with an emphasis in, if they're Jewish, that religion, if they're Christian, that religion? Like you can find somebody who's actually licensed and has the proper training. And these pastors, as much as we appreciate the good that many of them do put into the world and helping people to stay in their religion, they are not the people, in my opinion, to go to for counseling because they're not trained in it. That's just my opinion. I don't know anybody who feels differently. They may, but like I would never ask my pastor to like do therapy with just me. I'd ask him to pray over me, but I don't want therapy from my pastor. Pray for me.
It's a
Remind me
bitch
of the
they wins
power of
comment
God.
right there. It's a
Remind
bitch.
me of the
Yeah,
power. Huh?
it's a bitch they wins comment for me.
Yeah, but he genuinely irked me during this meeting with the pastor. I'm like, so basically, why is Swerve getting a scene alone? He's only here because of Trina. So if Trina's not in the scene, I do not want to see Swerve. So that's my opinion. Let's get into the comment from a bitch they winning. She says Swerve seems slow. Yep, I agree. These pastors are horrible and are usually doing even worse things than the people in their flock. That, yep, yes.
This is my problem with the scene. To me, he wanted validation that he wasn't the problem.
Mm.
And that's why he went to the church, because a lot of the times getting one side of the story, the male pastor is going to tell you you're not the problem and that you're moving and you're doing everything correct. When in all in fact and actuality, you're not, because one, you can't even be truthful about accusations that people are bringing to you. And second, as much as Trina has a stank ass attitude and is completely the most irrational person I have seen on this cast, I don't think it's all her if you two have problems. So I feel like for me, you going to a pastor was just your way of trying to make it seem like on TV you weren't the problem. And I don't believe that. I don't believe it's solely Trina. So, and I think that you know how people perceive her on this show. So you going to a pastor and you trying to explain what's going on is a scapegoat for it not to be your problem if some shit were to come out. And I
Mm,
feel like that was a very smart move, but you have to understand not everybody who watches the show is stupid.
yeah.
We can see that Amara was.
Calculated. I wouldn't say smart because remember the beginning of this comment, and he be on so much lean, and you could tell he be off substances, all sorts of
But
them.
the thing about it is, to our community specifically, he did the right thing. And that's all that matters. But for those of us who actually have fucking sense, understood exactly what this scene was. So that's why I'm saying, like, it was a smart move on his part, because what do black people a lot of the times do, even though we need to get far removed from that, is we run to the church, we run to God whenever we have human issues. And it's like, yeah, he did exactly what I expected a black man to do. But the conversation that was had wasn't so much that he was having problems in his marriage. He just wanted someone to validate that he wasn't the problem. And that's what the whole issue was. And see, and that's why I'm saying, like, I'm not going to see it for him now. Because now you're going to bring this to her saying, oh, I talked to the pastor, I got counseling, and, he said I'm doing everything right. Watch what I tell you. That's exactly how that scene's going to play out.
My bad, y'all. I was talking to my husband. I don't like Swerve James. I don't want to see him without Trina. It's really for me. I just don't like him. But I know James gonna have a strong opinion on this. Amada's mother goes to talk with Alan, and well, Alan pulls up to Amara's house, and her mama come outside, which I actually respected. She came outside. She said, "You don't need to come in here without a scheduled appointment." So she comes outside, and he basically tells the mom, for some reason they discuss the kid thing because her mom confronts him on it, and he mentions how he would prefer to have more kids naturally, but the mom seems to like kind of be coming at him like, why are you trying to do this with my daughter when you know you married, you know you don't want her, and then you called her a black piece of you know what. And he says that to have more kids was Amada's idea. He just prefers to do it naturally and not to use science. And this is where Amada's mom, Mama Anna, tells Alan that he is a liar. And Mama Anna tells him that Amada is with MJ at an event. So next thing you know, as soon as MJ's name is mentioned, and the mom, like, I normally don't care for Amada's mom, but she was actually calm, respectful, but also standing on business about her daughter. And Alan tries to manipulate it and be like, you're disrespecting me. I can't come in. It's like, no, you cannot come in. You did not schedule to be here. My child ain't said you should be here. You not together, so you don't need to come in this house. And it was interesting that he had the audacity to get upset at Amada and upset with her mama. And why are you mad, Alan, that Amada is at an event with MJ? Talk about, I don't like this dude. Did you fucking forget that dude was your best friend and you were friends with MJ while he was not just dating Amada, but in a relationship with her and living with her? And then you wind up with her? You don't have a right to be mad, Alan. You are the op. I don't think he understands that. So that's my little opinion on that. James, how'd you feel about the scene with Alan and Mama
It
Anna?
was the audacity for me. Because you would have thought he did something to Alan. You thought MJ did it to Alan the way he put that off. Like, I'm glad you said that, because I was like, wait, hold on. Do we have revisionist history? What are we doing here? Weren't you the one that stepped in and smashed the homie's girl? Got her pregnant with your twin daughters? Wasn't that you?
Not
So what
once,
are
but
you mad at?
twice, because she had a miscarriage.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. So what are you mad at, sir? What's your problem? No, you know that's the one that should be with her aside from you. And you know, if she would get back with him, that's ignoring your ass because you don't have a grip on her the way you have it now. I see your game, sir. Ain't nobody stupid. But I'm on because I wouldn't fall for that shit. But you know, it just goes to show that's because his mom moves in that exact same way. So the apple don't fall that far from the fucking tree when you really look at how the mama
His
moves.
mama probably a jump off. She just
I'm just,
aged.
or she was the side chick. Because where's her man? Where's his daddy?
Exactly. You know what? Yep. Yep. You right. You definitely are
So
right.
that mama give every bit of jump off. So yeah, absolutely. So I'm
Hmm.
not, yeah, I'm not with all of this. I'm just not with him because he a clown, and I ain't
He
got
is.
time. I ain't got time for this. That's why I said, listen, yeah, we can move on.
Now we get to the family love video shoot, which is MJ and his mama's little video shoot. And I'm wondering why Pinky Doll is there, looking malnourished and like she's ready to start some mess. And they played a video, and it was cool, whatever, it was appropriate. I'm not giving that song too much light. I feel like they low key trying to profit off their sister's pain, but whatever. Now, Shay introduces Mike Nasty, Big Mike, to everybody. And I was cracking up a little bit, but then look at this is exactly why I don't go to church. I'll read a Bible. I'll know some scriptures, all of those good things, but I do not go to church because people in church oftentimes be horrible, and then the pastors be horrible times 12, and it's just the truth. But her mama is talking about how she cannot imagine having to explain to her church friends that Shay is dating a man that goes by the name of Mike Nasty. But what I don't like, I didn't like that comment from Sandra. I just did not. And I found it to be odd because you're advocating for your son MJ to get back with Amara La Negra, who is not, in my opinion, Amara's worse than Mike Nasty. Mike Nasty has a past, but he seems to have made up for it and seems legitimate. Amara, it'd be harder to tell the church how your son is dating a woman who left him to be with his best friend, have babies with his best friend out of wedlock, while and with a man who was married, making her a mistress. So I'm like, if you worried about the church, lady, maybe direct MJ elsewhere. I'm just saying. But the mom
I
grills
got
Mike
one even
about,
better for you. How did you explain to your church friends when your daughter went on The Flavor of Love? It was
yep.
Kissing Flavor Flav on national TV. How did you explain that to the church? I want to know.
I'm like, Sandra, be quiet. Be quiet. It's okay to be quiet. But she grills Mike about his past and asks him if he can handle Shay's feistiness. And lady, of course he can. With the past that he's had, I feel like he absolutely can handle Shay's feistiness. But in my opinion, Shay will find a way to fuck it up. I don't think she knows how to be in a relationship. That's just my personal opinion, y'all. And I'm gonna leave that there. But Amada then explains her issue with Pinky Doll. And, Amada comes in, honestly, in a space of peace. Like, there's no reason to have beef with this girl. Ray J is the one who played us both. And Pinky Doll claims that Amada was a hater. Pinky Doll has a nasty attitude, even with Amada trying to be polite and kind of like meet in the middle. And then Pinky tries to say that Amada is looking for 2 minutes of fame. Pinky Doll, you are famous for saying yes, 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 which we can all do. There's nothing unique about you. Your story isn't even unique. You beefing with your sister, you want to be a rapper, and you are a former stripper. We've had that on every franchise of Love and Hip Hop, hell, all over reality
All over
TV.
reality TV, you ain't nothing new. And I'm just like, if you don't get off our screens, like, I can't even advocate. VH1, y'all chose the wrong one. You should have chose her sister. Because at least the sister looked like she got some sense. I don't know what y'all thought y'all was doing with this lady, but get her the hell away from us. Because I want somebody to toss something in her general direction.
Come on, Shay, you got aim. Not the general direction.
I'm
I
just saying
love
because
it.
I don't want to impose violence and say directly throw something at her, but just throw it in her general direction. It'll get her.
Sometimes that's enough to freak somebody out. Y'all remember season 1 when Shay threw that ice cream?
That was funny. So yes, I remember that.
She did not miss. But before they could even get deeper into the argument, And I love it because Amada's not, does not give Pinky the energy. Alan walks in and he tells Amada about that interaction he had with Mama Anna. And now he claims he does not feel comfortable coming to her house no more. So what, bitch? Like, so what? Get a hotel room. See them that way. And he is in real estate. So I'm sure he has his own real estate in Miami. Who cares? You don't need to come to her house. It's quiet as it's kept. Next thing we see is Shay talking to the camera in her confessional, talking about how she feels like Alan is wrong. And I actually sided with Shay. And y'all know this is rare. But I sided with Shay because I feel like as African American people, as brown people, as people of color, we should to a certain extent stick together, but especially Black folk. And Alan said and made egregious comments about Amada's skin tone. He basically didn't just come at Amada. In my opinion, he came at Black women because he affiliated to be dark-skinned and ghetto as one, which is not okay. And I think that went over a lot of people's heads. It did not go over Shay's head. She mentions that, which I agreed with. She also stood on business about her brother. As somebody with two brothers, I absolutely understood her energy, but it's like, Shay, you can't do all of that to a man. You can't do all of that to a man. If that was like the girlfriend of a brother or something, fine, but you can't do all of that to a man, especially if you're willing to forgive Amada, who also played with MJ just as much as Alan did. Amada is equally as guilty and equally has MJ fucked up in the way that Alan did, because Alan was his best friend and Amada was his girlfriend. So the fact that they would even mess around is just foul. But Amada doesn't seem to understand, because Shay goes bad. She doesn't seem to understand how pathetic she looks for even being willing to say that she wants a baby with a man who clearly has a negative bias against dark-skinned women. What happens if the next baby comes out the shade of Amara? Then what? You gonna say that about your own child? So it's kind of clownish for Amada to even deal with this man. It's clownish for Amada to have had a baby and been sleeping with a man who's married with no birth control. It's clownish. So I'm sick of it. I really am sick of it. So from what I see, y'all, in this scene, everywhere that Amada goes, drama follows. She is the problem. There's only so many situations that you could get yourself into before people say you are the problem. Because even if Amada is not actively starting shit, even if she didn't make Shay go off, why is it that you always end up in situations that turn to drama? Where is your discernment? Where is your sense? Where is it? So they go outside and they talk. And Alan says that he has feelings for Amada because she is the mother of his children. He does not say he has feelings for her. And I need women to understand this. Just because you have a baby by a man, he should have feelings for you separate from that child. He should be able to respect you separate from that child. And if he cannot, then don't be with him. And he made it very clear. It seems like his feelings are just based on her being the mother of the child. So he mentions being mad about her relationship with Safari, which was fucking comical because he himself is still legally married and living with his wife, to where he has to get permission from his wife to make babies with other people. And she basically says to Alan, and she knows she's a fucking joke, she's on the shade room for it, she is upset at him for being married and making her a side chick. Amada, you made yourself not a side chick, because a side chick is if you just with a man who got a girlfriend. You made yourself a mistress, Amara, by dealing with him even though you knew that he was married. And then you're trying to act innocent, and she barely even let a tear out. I didn't understand it. He owes you nothing. He does not belong to you, Amada. You're not the wife. You're never going to be able to dictate what he does, what he says. You're never going to be included in decisions. You are not the wife. You're just a baby mama. And that, unfortunately, is not a badge of honor. There are millions of them across the world. Doesn't make you special. It doesn't. That's the wife. I don't think Amada gets that. So he couldn't even tell Amada in this conversation that he wanted her. And in my opinion, she's a forever side chick who's dingy. So I'm gonna leave it there. James, how'd you feel about that?
I feel like, ladies, let this be a lesson to all of you who are in this situation or in similar situations. A man's word, even though he didn't even say his word, don't mean shit unless there's action behind it. So therefore, you don't invest all of this time, energy, emotions, and whatever succumbs to this situation if it's not benefiting you in the way that it should. Because if he wanted to be done with his wife, he would have filed for the divorce, showed you the legal paperwork to say, I am completely done. Let's move forward with our future. That is how you know that he's ready for you. But the fact that this man didn't do that and convinced you very easily to go ahead and sow his wild oats is amazing. And the fact that you still sitting here years later still talking about you in love with this man and that you said that it's going to be over between you and your wife. You told me, why would you have me in limbo? Man, you have a choice in the situation too. And your choice should have been, fuck you, I'm moving on. You can come get your daughters when we see fit. The courthouse will knock on your door.
Mm.
So I don't want to hear this from women who always feel like they have some claim because you have children with a man. No, that means absolutely nothing because
Thank you.
men move just like this. A
Mhm.
real man wouldn't put you through this if he really loved you.
That's the truth.
So if he's putting you through this, he does not love you. He just loves the access to you. Learn the difference, ladies. You ladies out there that have children with men that you're not together with, understand the love that they have for you. It's called the access to you. And a lot of you women give it to them because you just can't help yourselves. Learn how to take that power back. And if he leaves, he wasn't the one for you, go get you somebody else.
That's the truth. A lot of people want to hear that. And I know that's probably a tad sensitive for some people, but just because you have a baby with somebody don't make you important. If they ain't put a ring on it and called you theirs legally, I'm sorry, your kids matter more than you even. So I'm sorry, it's just how it goes. But that was all that happened in this episode. I'm pretty sure Amada sees now that people are, from what I see online and what people are saying, it's like, girlfriend, he's married, you look stupid. So get back to the music or leave the show, Amada. It's getting old. I really hope they lean into the new cast members and start to phase out people like Amada, Trina, Joy, retired. But what we're gonna do, you guys, we're gonna end this live. We're gonna go review Love and Hip Hop Atlanta next, and then after that, we'll be going over the Housewives of Beverly Hills. So we will be live for a good portion of the night. But I appreciate everybody for watching. We hope that you like the video, subscribe. Shout out to the replay gang. The link to James's channel is in the description of this video. It's the first thing you will see if you click it, as well as there are several links to get to his channel in the form of playlist on my channel. So love and light to you all. Thank you, James, for being here. We'll be back again next week to go over Love and Hip Hop Miami. Adios.
See you there.